Hey, treasured vessels. I pray you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday. This morning in my prayer time, I was reading 1 Peter 4. And 1 Peter 4 talks about living for God and then just suffering for being a Christian, right? And all of it is fruitful. All of it is fruitful. All of it is fruitful. God had me just kind of meditating and just dwelling on verses 3 and 4. And all the way home from work, like, he just kept bringing up bringing up past times from back in the day. Or I used to go to school with this person, or I used to go to church with this person, or, I grew up with this person, right? That knew you before you knew Christ. And there's a specific language that they have. It's, oh, girl, I remember. Oh, I remember when you, and sometimes that language can transcend to present time. And so the things that you used to do in the conversation, they will make reference to as if you're still doing those things. And you know that you're not doing them. However, they don't. And so you have to now make a decision. Are you going to continue to go along with the camaraderie? You're going to go along with them having this reminiscent moment, or are you going to take a stance and say, yeah, I used to do that, now I don't do it anymore, I haven't done that in a few years actually. And sometimes when you do that, it causes a separation, right? Like, that's the beginning of this friend realizing, okay, she's changing. The friend can either lean into the change and be like, okay, well, if you don't do those things anymore, then kind of tell me more about what you are doing. Or they take the stance of, oh, well, you just acting brand new then, huh? You done moved and you done did this and you done got this new job and you done got married and you just acting brand new. I'm not acting brand new. I am brand new. The Lord has created a clean heart, and he's renewed the right spirit within me. So yes, I am brand new. And that friend can either accept that, or they can continue to rebel against it and be very rejecting of what you're trying to share with them. And they're rejecting it because a few things happen. They realize, okay, she's no longer here with me. Emotionally, mentally, intellectually, she's not here with me anymore. So the same music we used to listen to, she don't listen to no more. The same movies we used to watch, she don't watch no more. The same places we used to go, she don't go no more. The same drinks we used to drink, she don't drink no more. The same clothes we used to wear, the way we talk, she doesn't do that anymore. So what do I have to connect with this person about? What is it that now we're sitting here at dinner, what are we going to talk about? So mentally, to them, they realize, oh, she's changing, but I'm not. I'm still doing the same stuff that we was doing 10 years ago, and so it's a moment of like, golly, like, what have I been doing with my life? Them seeing you change makes them have to change in order to best support the new you that you are. In order for me to understand you talking about business, in order for me to understand that you're talking about stocks and investments, right? In order for me to understand that you're talking about leadership and development and creating systems for your life and planning and structure, that means I am going to have to do some work. That means I'm going to have to do some reading, some researching, some watching a YouTube video, some podcasts, something I'm going to have to do on my end so that way I can connect with you. Because if you're telling me you don't do those things anymore, but I still do them, the next question is, if I want to still be in connection and relationship with you, you aren't going to come back and do these things You're not doing that anymore. You've already said that you're not doing those things. So that means I have to change. That means I have to grow. That means I have to make a decision. Okay, if I want to continue being in a relationship with this person, I'm going to have to grow to where they are. Or at least I'm going to have to make an attempt to understand where they are. And that's difficult for people to do. Change is difficult, especially when you're being forced to change because somebody else in your life is changing. And then two, when other people in your life change, it makes you reconsider your status and your role in their life, right? So if you've always been the friend that they call to get advice from, if you've always been the friend that, stayed over to their house to 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning, whatever, y'all always hanging out. Oh, girl, let me tell you about what happened to me today. Let me tell you. They calling you at all types of hours. They come into your house at any time. It's just all boundaries just broken over, right? No boundary friendship. And you come to them and you're like, yeah, I'm setting boundaries. So to them, they have to examine where they are now in your life. Okay, am I not, so you're telling me you're going to set boundaries with me. Am I not important anymore? Am I not your go-to anymore? Am I not your quote-unquote hero anymore? Am I not the person that, like, when something happens to you, I'm the first person that you call and tell your business to? Now that you're setting boundaries and now that you're prioritizing your relationship with the Lord, like, I'm not the first person. So it causes them to have to think about where they stand in your life. They're no longer first. They're no longer the priority. And that can be difficult, especially if they have attached their identity to that. If they have attached their identity to being the strong friend for you, and you have clearly in the last year or two said to them in so many ways and so many words, you have another strength. You have another strength, right? Like the Lord is now your strength. That's difficult for them to fathom. Like, I'm not your strength anymore. You don't need me no more. No, I do need you, just not in that way. And so coming back to the scripture, 1 Peter 4:3 says, for the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles, when we walked in lasciviousness, lust, excess of wine, revelings, banquetings, and abominable idolatries, wherein they think it strange that ye run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you. Okay, I have a Bible that compares each translation, right? So I got the King James Version and NLT. NLT said, you have had enough in the past of the evil things that godless people enjoy, their immorality and lust, their feasting, drunkenness, and wild parties, and the terrible worship of idols. Of course, your former friends are surprised when you no longer plunge into the flood of wild and destructive things they do. So they slander you. Okay. This is when oh, you brand new? Oh, she acting funny. No, I'm acting holy. I'm being holy. Okay. I'm living according to the scriptures. I have been transformed. I have been renewed. I have been bought. Okay. I want to live for God. And the instructions on how to do that are in the Bible. And so there comes a point where the way that you live is not equivalent to the way that they live. Somebody's going to have to change. I'm not moving because I've done that. I've done 3. I've done verse 3. I've had enough in the past of evil things that godless people enjoy. Immorality, lust, feasting, drunkenness, wild parties, worship of idols. I've had enough of that. And so I can't be tied to people who are still continuing to do this. It's a tough stance. It's a tough stance. But if we're going to live holy, if we're going to be called and live a life worthy of our calling, we're going to have to make a decision. Period. So don't be surprised when you start living for God and he starts separating you, right? He starts making the thing that was desirable less desirable. And the friends start getting, ooh, what's wrong with her? I'm just trying to do what the Lord has called me to do. Just trying to, and it is difficult because these are people you love. These are people you've grown up with. These are people you've trusted. These are people you've been loyal to. Okay, they have been loyal to you. But at a certain point, what's in the Word of God has to trump all of that. Like, I can't be so tied to you and how you feel about me growing and developing in my relationship with Christ that I forfeit what He has for me. I'm not doing that, and we can't do that as women. We cannot do that, especially if we are called, if we feel we are called, if we feel we have more than what I had yesterday. I got more today, and tomorrow I'm going to have more than what I have today. I want to be led by Holy Spirit. I want to hear Him. I want to hear the Lord clearly, right? Like, I want the people in my life to be free, and the people who encounter me encounter Jesus. That's what I want, and I can't do that if I continue to visit the past, and I continue to revisit those old desires, and I continue to have people in my life who are not committed to going higher in their relationship with the Lord. Okay, so that's all. I pray anytime I get on here talking, my prayer is that you would hear my heart. I love the Lord. I love people. I just want us as women to truly live our lives poured out like oil. That's it. That's it, period. Like, I want us to get all that the Lord has for us, and I want the people in our lives to be beneficiaries of the overflow. That's what I want. That is what I want, okay? I think the next video is going to be about your cocoon season, isolation, because that's something that the Lord has been highlighting for the past 2 weeks, and so I got to get it out, okay? So I pray you're having a wonderful Wednesday. I'm about to get out the car. Oh, I just want y'all to see my hair, okay? Last night, natural girls, listen to me. Y'all know how it is, okay? You plan for days to have a specific hairstyle. You do the hair, the next morning it turns out a hot mess, okay? All that effort and it turns out a hot mess. But anytime I do my hair and I'm just gonna put some rollers in, I don't plan, I don't do any of that, it always turns out so cute, y'all. Like, I put some rods in my hair last night. Look at this. It's a whole situation. And it's like 86 degrees. It's 86 degrees. And the curl is still curling, okay? Whew, that's all. I gotta get out the car. Yeah, so I pray that you guys will continue to allow the Lord to give you the boldness and the courage to live your life poured out like oil. Until next time, I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.